Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the CDTL Lunchtime Sharing Series. So today's topic would be about how AI will change our work. So we know that this is one of the hot topics now. Purpose of today's session is just to give you an overview. So would not be like a very detailed kind of like workshop that we used to have. So this one is just like an introductory to AI tools. Later on, like my colleagues from CDTL will be sharing with you like the plans on how do we actually like go about like sharing about like the series that we plan for the other topics. All right. So for those of you who would like to learn more about like other tools about AI, so you could actually get in touch with us later on. Okay. So again, for those people who don't know me yet, so my name is Charina from CDTL. Our everyday experiences of AI have evolved from translations, meaning a very simple text-to-text transactions, to transcription, which involves text-to-speech kind of like transactions, to personal assistants such as Siri or Alexa, which enables speech-to-task use cases such as searching and playing music using our phones, to the start of generative AI. So these are models that can perform complex human-like creative text-to-work outputs such as essays, presentations, and stunning images. So this new wave of generative AI is capable of generating intelligent, creative works such as text output, such as letters, emails, lyrics to a song, or even highly articulate essays, or let's say, for example, entire presentations from just typing in a topic, and beautiful, stunning images from simple text descriptions. And for today, I want to share three popular examples of these generative AI tools. If in case like we will be having like some technical issue along the way, I have a PDF file to show you also like the output. So don't you worry about it. Okay, so the first one is called the Chat GPT. So you could see here the link to the Chat GPT. So this is the screen that you could see when you first like log into Chat GPT. So for those of you who are new to this Chat GPT, you need to set up an account. So if you do have a Google account, so you will be able to actually like use it to create your ChatGPT account. And once you're already in, so this is the main interface of ChatGPT. On the left portion of your screen, so you could see here new chat, so which would allow you to start like giving instruction to the AI to generate like output for you. Here on the middle part of the screen, so this is what you could actually like see on what ChatGPT can do for you. So let's say for examples, right? So you could see here like simple tasks that it could do for you, its capabilities, and also its limitation. So later on, as we do the demonstration, so we will be having like different ways to show you things that ChatGPT can generate. In terms of like the capabilities, so it could remember the things that you have instructed the ChatGPT to do. So you don't have to keep on providing all the details. One of the limitations here is that it's limited knowledge of the world and events after 2021. So last night they just launched ChatGPT version 4, right? So they mentioned about like actually like smarter like performing like more complex tasks. So earlier when we mentioned about like having like the Alexa and Siri do the task for us, if you do have like the version 4.0, it will allow you to be able to perform like those instructions based on your voice, right? So very very powerful. But the version 4 is only like available to the plus account, so it's not available for the free accounts. All right, so I think things are still like developing as of now. And as you could see here, ChatGPT requires prompts to be able to produce an output. So these are examples of prompts. Okay, so it could be about an essay, it could be like a poem, it could be like, writing lyrics for you, an invitation email. So it allows you to actually like create a report, solve math equations. Yeah, so even like, math equations that are difficult to absorb, so they will be able to actually patiently explain to you. And also, one of the things here is grading essay or open-ended question. So in the examples to follow, so we will use this suggested structure to create a more specific teaching and learning document. So as you could see here, it could perform very simple tasks, but if you want to have like more accurate kind of like result, so this is the suggested structure. You could include your role, the output that you require ChatGPT to produce, the audience, and also you could include follow-up instructions. So although this one, the last one would be optional for you, but this three would be required for you to include so that you would have like a more accurate kind of like result. So using this as an example, right? So here on the left side, I have create an essay about AI. Let's see how we can apply the structure, okay, that I showed you just now, yeah, using the role, output, and audience, okay, to produce a more accurate kind of like result. I could indicate here as year one university undergraduate student, this would be your role. Okay, the output would be to create an essay, 500 words about AI to be submitted to your professor. And then optional to also include 5 credible references from journals. As you could compare here, this is like more general kind of like command. And if you would actually like run this instruction, okay, so you would be able to provide more accurate kind of like result. Now that we've learned how to create a more advanced prompt, so let's now learn how to create text-based output that can relate to teaching and learning. Okay, so in the examples to follow, we will make use of ChatGPT to create a course syllabus, a lesson plan, assessment for a lesson, as well as how to grade essays or open-ended questions. So you can look at this example for creating a course syllabus. So you could see here, I have this statement. This is your role as a university professor. This is the output. Create a 13-week course syllabus for history. And then, so your intended audience would be first-year undergraduate students in Singapore. So here I will be using this to generate result, ChatGPT. So this is my instruction. If I go to ChatGPT, so here, so you can just paste the statement. And then when you try to press enter, so you would notice that it will already start generating the result for you. Since I have indicated 13 weeks, so it will try to provide you all those like topics, okay, suggested topics. Of course, like as a lecturer, so you still be able to actually like verify the content that you want. So this is just like to give you starting point, right? Yeah. So you could notice that here, so it has already like generated the 13-week topic for you, including this description. Okay, so if you would like to regenerate the response, so you may do it somewhere here. So there is a button here that says regenerate response. The next one is that after you have created the syllabus, the next one is like you would want to actually like create like a lesson plan. So for week number 1, so I would want to actually like create like a lesson for this topic or for this week. So introduction to world history. So what would be the prompt that I could use? So in this case here, what you can do is like you could indicate like, create a detailed lesson for a topic about week 1. So you don't have to include as a university professor, because remember the capability of chat gpts, it would remember the previous instruction or previous details that you have provided. So in this case here, so I will try to indicate my instruction here. Okay. So create a detailed lesson for week 1, introduction to Singapore's history. So it would include the ILO set for that session. And then what to include. So you could also indicate here, like, how long is your lesson. So you could also include that, right? So even like the activity, so it will try to including like the assessment, it would suggest for you. Okay, so this is the sample of what it would generate. So again, from core syllabus, we now created like a lesson plan. Now from a lesson plan, we would go to the next one, which is to create a lecture. So here, what we would do is like we would choose like one topic from the lesson plan, and the instruction is to create a 20-minute detailed lecture for the topic early history. So you could see here, right? So let's say here, early history of Singapore, right? So what I can do is like I would want ChatGPT to generate a lecture script for me. Okay, so what I will do now is I will copy this instruction, put it here. So again, it will start with the ILO set for that particular session. So while this system is still generating the result, right? So I just want to mention like for the free account, so it could generate for about like 3,000 words, right? So, but like the new version, so it could generate 25,000 words. Yeah. So it's already like giving you like the script, right? So for those of you also who are indicating about like how to come up with like a storyboard for a specific topic, so this is like one idea for us to start, right? Yeah. So although it's just like an outline for us, right? So you still be able to customize according to what you need. Okay, yeah. So we'll just like wait for this to finish. So there are also like suggested activities like after the lecture. So this would be like, as an assignment or as an assessment for them. Okay, so it has already finished generating the instruction that we have indicated here for the topic about early history of Singapore. So the next one that I would want to show you is it would allow you to create like assessment questions. As for the assessment question, so it could create both objective type question and also open-ended question. So let's say, for example, right, like with the lecture that it has remembered earlier, okay, so you could say create 10 multiple choice questions based on the key points about the topic above, okay, or you can copy paste that lecture and then you include this instruction. If you want he to create open-ended questions for you, so you can also do that. So we can try it now. So here, right? So it still has like all this like text over here, the lecture, and I could just say here, create two open-ended questions based on the points discussed above. So it has generated two questions for us. So I also want to mention here, like on the news, right? So civil servants to soon use ChatGPT to help with research and speech writing. Yeah, so this is something that we're unable to actually like avoid. Like all these things would keep on like coming to us. So we could actually like use like the opportunity to see like how it could actually like help us in our daily tasks. From ChatGPT, you already have created like all those like core syllabus, your lecture and all. So the next one is like you may want to actually like ask another AI tool to come up with like some slides for you, right? So this is like one of the things that you can do. So to start creating a tome, right? Once you are already like there on the URL that I have shared with you on the chat, so simply just click on try tome. Okay, so it's located here on the upper right portion of your screen. Okay, And then again, you have to create an account. So if you do have like your Google account, so you can actually like use it, right? So that it could directly like link to your account. And from here, to start creating like the presentation deck, so you can click on the create button on the top right corner of the screen. And then it will ask you, what do you want to create? So this one is like, very similar to like ChatGPT. It's just like it would convert it to slides. Okay, so when you try to ask it to create presentation, so you can indicate here the topic. So you could indicate here, let's say, a topic based on the core syllabus that you have there. So let's say I would choose early colonial Singapore. Okay, so it will already like generate like the slides for you. So as you could see here, it would have like options for you to choose whether you just want to have like just outline. So outline would look like this. So just like an outline, or you want to have like in details, which would include like the text, the outline, the text that you would see here, and also an image. So the image that you would see here would not always be relevant, right? So if you want, so you could use like another AI tool to create like those like stunning images that you could include. Okay, so let me just like show you here, right? So let me just, okay, so here, right? So if you go to the Tome website, okay, so here just need to click on create new, and then you can search for a topic. Okay, so you can indicate here topic that we have. So let's say, for example, this one I would choose, then I just go here. Okay, and then you just need to click on enter. So it's already like creating presentation for you. So as you could see, this one is already like familiar, right? Like, if you're familiar with Google Slides, so it looked very similar, right? So you would be able to still like enhance the slides. So based on the slides that it has generated for you. So from like at what I mentioned earlier, from the topic or from the outline itself, it would allow you to have the details to be indicated here. And of course, like if you want to change this, so it's also possible. So which would lead me to the next AI tool, which is called Midjourney. So for Midjourney, I just want to share with you the URL on the chat. So this is to allow you to create visually stunning images. So when you go to the website of Midjourney, so this would allow you to have two things. So the Midjourney is the production site which operates on Discord. So it's an online voice and video text chat app. So primarily it's used to support gaming. Okay, but of course now you could use it to generate like images for you. The Midjourney account is for you to archive all your works, but it will need to have like a production site for you to also like indicate like the instruction and all. So once you already have created like your Midjourney account, you will need to actually like click on one of the channel there called Newbie. Okay, so once you log in, so you will see that you will be able to see some of the channels here called Newbie 108. So it would randomly just create like those channels for those people to test. Okay, so this is like your platform for you to indicate like those instructions. And then it would need to have like a prompt. Okay, so you would notice that once you join there, so you would need to indicate what prompt you will use to generate those images. Okay, so here, so you could say imagine, so \imagine, and then you could already like indicate your instruction. Okay, so this is like the prompt that you will need to key in and start providing the description of the image that you want the system to create for you. Okay, So what I can do here is, let's say, for example, I could use this, imagine the early colonial Singapore, and then I could say ultra realistic. I want it to be HD, okay? So, and then 8K, and I want the aspect ratio to be 16:9. Okay, so let's try to do this. So I'll go to one of the chat channel. So here \imagine, and then you could see the prompt, right? So this is the thing where you could already start putting in the description. Okay, so let's say, for example, comma, and then you could indicate here, for example, the details that you want, right? So you want this to be in HD. You want it to be a realistic kind of image. So ultra realistic, comma, I could indicate I want it to be HD. And then you could indicate here the aspect ratio, so 16:9. Okay, and then you can run it. So you will also see other people testing some of their instruction here, right? Yeah, so we will wait for it to generate what we have indicated so far. So this is what it will generate for us. So almost there. Okay, so you would notice that if I try to scroll down, right? So it has already generated the instruction for us. So you could choose from any of these four. So you could see here U1 to until U4, and then V1 until V4. So what are these buttons here? So U1, it means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So you can choose one of the images and that you want the system to upscale. So meaning it could still try to improve based on what it has generated for you. So let's say I want to show, or I want to choose this image here. So I would say I want you to upscale version 3 of this. So I choose this one. Okay. So it will try to run it for you. Okay. So using that image. So this one is really used for uh visual concept kind, right? So if you want to have some ideas about how to generate those very very abstract kind of topics, so you could actually get some ideas here in mid journey. So for any of this, it has generated. So if you're not yet happy in terms of the layout it has given you, so you can click on regenerate. Of course, when you try to click on regenerate, so it will show you other ideas or other concepts. Okay, so it has already finished. Okay, so this is how it would look like if you try to scroll down. Okay, so if you're already happy with this one, so you can simply just click on it. Okay, so click on it. So this is the version, the enhanced version the system has generated for you. You could already right click on this image and actually save it in one of your folders, right? And then what you could do here, right? So you can go back to Tome, and then from here you can remove this image. And then from here, you could replace that image. So you click on the plus sign, I'll click on image, and then I have to select where I have saved it. And then from here, it shows like this, right? So I could actually just indicate fill so that it will actually try to adjust for you the space, something like that. As you could see, right? So you don't really need to just concentrate on one specific tool. So by showing you all these three tools, right? So from ChatGPT to Tome to Midjourney, so you could see the connection, right? So from generating the text to slides and then the graphics. Yeah. So those would be the important points that I would want to actually share with you. Where can you actually access all the files, right? All the images that it has generated. So let me just show you that here, when you go to your Midjourney account, right? Okay, so you would see that all these things that you have generated from Discord will go to your account so that it's not difficult to find, because like this one is like, for you to actually like try to test. It's a working kind of like platform. But when you go to the Mid Journey account that you have set up, so you would notice like all those like things that it has generated, right? Like for example, here I tried to indicate like, how would like a futuristic workspace look like in 2050. So it actually like created something like this. So it allows you to archive all those ideas, okay, into a single space. Yeah, so this is how you could actually like, try to retrieve all those like images that Midjourney has generated for you. So we need to actually like think about like, how we can best use of those tools that we have seen for teaching and learning, and how do we actually like safeguard the proper use of these tools. Okay, and of course, if you do have like any questions, so please feel free to write me an email so that we will be able to discuss more details. Okay, so these are the 2 points that I would want to actually like indicate, so that these things are very important, right? And we also want to use the time now to hear on how other colleagues have used some of the AI tools. You can also share your experience and if those questions that you want to ask. Yeah.
So that comes to what I wanted to share. Like Charina was saying,
Mhm.
so we do have some new sessions that will come up, and one of those is the assessment practices in Chat GPT. But I think, I mean, it'll just be a sharing session because we can't. All of these will be sharing. The what can Chat GPT do for you? The awareness session will go a little bit in depth into what are the different kinds of things you can do, and so on. We are also hoping to have a conversation with students exploring the power of AI tools. For all of these, we don't have dates yet, but these are coming soon. Just keep on the lookout for them.
So yeah, so it's already like 1:01. Again, so we would like to thank you for attending today's sharing. So on behalf of CDTL, so we would like to thank you all for attending today's session. And yeah, so till next time. Yeah, thank you very much.